Hey yo everybody, it's your boy JG, and welcome to me just deciding to rank all the Cuphead bosses because I feel like it. It's been a minute, but I'm back. I am now moved into college. I kind of was like 2 months ago, but we're not going to talk about that, you know? Basically, I've come with this extremely original idea, you know, ranking everything. You've never seen this before. So if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. You know, you guys went kind of crazy. Like, I left at about 38 subs. And now I'm at 62. What have you guys been doing, man? I could not thank you guys enough. So in this game, there are really only two bosses that I absolutely despise. Two bosses that if I could, I would wipe them off of this earth, go to their artist and the game developer studio in a like if I had a time traveling machine, I would go back just to make sure that they would not make these bosses. You know, this absolute worst boss can be described in exactly one sound. And there we have it, folks. Rumor Honeybottoms can literally get off this earth. I don't understand why they made this boss. Vertical scroller. Her attack's garbage, but it's not even my opinion that she's the worst. Look at her own bees. The people she's supposed to be running. You can't tell me they like living in that stupid honeycomb, whatever, skyscraper hotel. Sometimes, like this, like what am I supposed to do here? I have nowhere to go, and I'm just gonna get saw bladed in the face. Like, what is this? Oh, and don't get me started on this next boss. This next boss is so bad, the game doesn't even allow you to replay it. You're only allowed to play this boss once. You can't, there's no way to play it again unless you create another save slot. This boss, I don't even know the name of it. Like, two ghosts out of a skull? Like, what is it? I don't even know its name. Gimmick is absolutely folded by Smoke Bomb. The fight's just not fun. But, bro, like, you know, these two bosses, I would give a strong, this is absolute doo-doo fart, and it should leave this earth out of 10. Okay, now these next bosses, you know, every boss after this, that's pretty okay. You know, I'd actually have a good time with them. So, coming up next is Wally Warbles. we all know about birds, right? Birds, they're not real. So basically, Wally's the same. Just doo-doo fart. You know, the reason why I hate Wally is because Woody the Woodpecker show was absolutely terrible. So now that's literally the reason why I give a what the hell out of 10. But we are gonna talk about gameplay. Expert mode. Alright, next up is Baroness Von Bon. Her final phase, I actually really enjoyed. Dodging her head, pause, and absolutely obliterating the castle. It's pretty sicky narnar, I'd say. But these candies before, she picked the most mid candies ever. Candy corn. I know no one is going to go up to a Halloween basket in a couple of days and say, yo, let me grab the candy corn out of this. We all know the gumballs in these gumball machines are like the most mid pieces of gum you've ever had in your life as well. And then lastly, who really sucks on jawbreakers now? Except if you're Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Alright, next up comes from a boss I actually kind of like. So, in the DLC, they introduced this little King's Gauntlet. And it's actually quite fun. Just putting it on the heads with the parry gimmick and everything. But pawns are just stupid, you know? Like, who even uses pawns in chess? Like, what do you do with pawns? You get them to the other side of the board and turn them into another piece. So like pawns are just there's just no reason for a pawn to even exist. Coming in at our next spot, we got Glumstone the Giant. This is another DLC boss. This boss finds a way to be as annoying as possible. They take away your platforms. The ground you can't really stand on. And then they just throw as much bull on the top of the screen as possible. Oh, in the next phase, this guy likes playing with sock puppets or something. So like, there we go. And then he eats us. And that's about where I have to stop. Yeah, this boss gets a strong Glumshanks from Skylanders out of 10. All right, coming up next, we got a tutorial boss. We got Goofy Legrand. What a goofy name, you know? This guy, he's up here because he kind of reminds me of that one character from the game. I'm kind of forgetting it about right now. Oh yeah, Mario Sports Mix. You know, this boss is pretty fun, but if you were ballin', that would immediately put it in my toppest of top tier. Wait, there's no way. Wait, whoa. Oh yeah, this is going all the way up there. Just going on. All right, coming up. Coming up next, we got another of the King's fights. We got the Knight. All I gotta say about this Knight is, yeah, there's not really much to say. This boss is the most repetitive thing. You can do cool things to speed it up, but like, he has 3 attacks. Okay, up next, we got the Hildeberg. Other than her music going absolutely dummy bonkers, this is the first plane level that we encounter in the game, and to be honest, it's pretty fun. There's just nothing really memorable about it, other than the fact that she kind of laughs like that one king from Clash Royale. Up next, we got another boss from the King's Gauntlet. I just realized I said that this is probably one of the best parts about the DLC, and all these bosses so far are just being ranked so down. Right here, we have the Queen. This mechanic's fun. Shooting the, like, cannons to hit her in the face. Alrighty, coming up next, we got the brothers, the Mario brothers, you could say. The Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. Ribby and Croaks. You know, they're pretty cool, you know? They throw some fists, but really, like, they eat each other. Up next at our 20 spot, top 20 now. Wow, crazy, woo, wow, Beppy the Clown. Honestly, clowns, you kind of missed your era. Honestly, his boss fight, he's just clowning around. Next up, we got another King's Gauntlet. The Rook. Very fun and engaging, actually. Parrying the heads to hit him, like parrying him constantly, is actually really fun. It takes a lot of skill. See, that's why I attempted it in my Let's Play series. I'm just like that.
We do not care.
Alright, coming up next at number 18, we got Sally Stage Play. This is the first boss that we've gone over that actually has a secret ending, and that is pretty cool. If you stay on these little thingies in like the first part, you kind of kill her husband, and, but it does change up the rest of the fight, and that's actually pretty cool. Sally, for being Inkwell Isle 3, she's actually extremely easy, and you can literally just cheese her fight by standing still. Check out next, number 17. People might not like this one. We got King Dice. King Dice, he's actually just boring. The ending part with the cards is just boring. You just parry a bunch. That's about it. And the little mini games are actually it's actually pretty fun having to fight all these little bosses before him. But how are you gonna make the little bosses harder than you? Here, I'm going to also rank all these mini bosses just really quickly. 9, we have Tipsy Troop. At 8, we have the 8-Ball. Also, why in the world is his name Mango Steam? This guy is definitely just like not a mango or anything. At 7, we got Fear Lap. At 6, we got Hoppus Pockus. See what they did there with the little names instead of like Hocus Pocus? It's Hoppus because he's a bunny. 5, we got Purioletta, or however you say it. She's just boring. 4, we got Mr. Wheezy because he's the most tanky boss in the game, I swear. At 3, we got Pip and Dot because they're honestly just cute. At number 2, we got Mr. Chimes because the mechanic's just really fun. Number 1, Chips Bedigan, Supremacy. Honestly, best boss in the entire game as well. So just put him up there. Look at the drip on this man. All right, coming up next, Cala Maria, right? Really fun. The boss is pretty cool. You know, that's not the real reason why we play this boss. There might be a specific reason why we play this boss, and I think we all know where I'm heading towards. Those snakes are so unbelievably cute. Like, once she turns into Medusa, like, those snakes on the top of her head, that one of them even knows how to play the violin. Tell me you've ever seen a snake play the violin. I bet you haven't. That's why I give Calamaria a, you really thought I was going to be talking about something else, out of 10. Next, at number 15, we got Dr. Cal's Robot. And if I had $1 for the amount of, like, seconds I spent on this boss, I swear I'd be, like, rich man. Yeah, this boss was really fun. And actually, it's pretty fun. But, like, that's just my time wasted. But he reminds me of the Iron Giant. And that's pretty sicky nar nar. Coming up next, at 14, we got the last King's Gauntlet boss I haven't talked about yet, the Bishop. My Let's Play, you guys know I have strong feelings about this Bishop, but I actually do find him pretty fun. His mechanic is the most fun out of all the King's Gauntlet, going through all the candles just to wake him up and smack him in his good old noggin. Still don't know why he has a piano in his mouth. All right, coming up next is Werner Vermin. Honestly, probably one of my favorite bosses in terms of fun value. Strong Tom and Jerry fan. So that's basically why he's here. Smoke Bomb kind of just clears this boss. And it's very short, but it is also very fun. So that's why I give him a out of 10. All right, coming up next at number 12, we have the Moonshine Mob. I know that might be a little surprising for you guys, but this boss is honestly really fun, even though I spent a good amount of time on this as well. Moonshine definitely has one of the most bullet-heavy parts. This caterpillar can go and die. I hate you so much. And then, how can I talk about this boss without talking about the fake knockout? Also, I just kind of noticed that, like, all the cops are ants, and the anteater is kind of like the final part. That's actually a really cool detail. Just outside of the top 10, we got the Captain Briny Beard. Honestly, I feel like he gets too much hate. In my opinion, he's one of the more fun fights in the game. You go up, he brings out the animals and stuff. Y'all feeling me on this one? No. All right, now we're heading into the top 10. These are the top 10 bosses, you know? They could also be called like the top 10 or like the 10 on top. Or also like the 10. Number 10, Snow Colt Scuffle. This boss is just really fun. The setting is great, kind of being in an entire arena. The only gripe I have against this one is that I don't know why the first phase has to be so short. I don't mind it, but that whale attack is just really cool. Up next on the list, we have the Jimmy the Great. I know his name is not the Jimmy, but I call him the Jimmy. Some people think this boss might be the best in the game. I say it's a top 10 boss, you know? But this boss is just really fun. This boss does have a secret phase, actually. If you go small as Cuphead when he's trying to read you, I'll give the Jim a good old out of 10. Alright, this next fight, probably one of the most recognizable fights in this game. That's because one thing alone. This music goes dummy! Bro, this music, bro. If you do not like this music, I do not know who you are. Floral Fury, Kind Incarnation, they're just like that. The boss, very fun. Actually pretty average, but that music just has to push it all the way up here because if you don't know me, I'm a sucker for music, bro. And Floral Fury. Okay, up next. You guys are probably wondering how in the world has this boss not been said yet? And it's because this music is even better, bro. Just listen to this part. Listen to this part of the song. Okay. Botanic Panic, or the Root Pack. This boss, honestly, it's just really average. You can get it done in under a minute, but this music, it clears in this game, and that's all I have to say. Okay, top 6, in my opinion, are the best of the best fights in this game. Any of these fights can really go in any order, in my humble opinion, except for the first one. So we're kicking it off with the Phantom Express. Honestly, one of the most fun fights. I'm realizing I'm saying this for almost every single. Kind of have you fighting mini bosses, kind of like Botanic Panic, but just in a better way, you know? And one thing you'll know is that I really love mechanics in bosses and things. So being on a little cart that restricts you to a third of the screen that you have to parry over, is actually really interesting. Coming up, number 5, we have Esther Winchester. This song, dummy! I still want to know whose idea it was to bring in a professional yodeler into the studio and just put him on the track. There's a reason why this song, High Noon Hoopla, was featured on the how it was created by MDHR. This song and Floral Fury, really fun fight. If it wasn't for the donkey, this stupid donkey in the first phase, this boss probably would be top 3. Coming up at number 4, one of the harder fights in this game, probably one of the hardest. We got Grim Matchstick. This dragon gave me so much trouble when I first played this game, but it turned into one of my favorite fights. Yes, I do hate the auto-scrolling mechanic, but this fight does it 1,000,400,203,000,000 times better than Rumor Honeybottoms. And that's why Grim's up here. Grim is the GOAT. Top 3. These are the goated fights. This is the last main game boss, and that is the devil. Hard fight, but really fun. I do admit it, I beat it the first time by doing that cheese where you just stand outside of the little hole after the first phase and you just kill it. But after learning the fight itself, it is so fun to just do. But that's not the reason why I love the fight that much. is that after every single time you beat him, you're able to watch the credits again. And honestly, the credits are the best part of the game. And then I feel like that can piggyback right into number 2, which is Chef Saltbaker. Like, I feel like the credits for the DLC might be even better. And I feel like that's why I'm putting Chef Saltbaker a little bit ahead. But Chef Saltbaker also has the little Disney villain twist. Oh, also the boss fight. It's pretty cool. All right, and coming in at number 1, the number 1 spot. This is what you guys have all been waiting for. We're giving it to Doggone Dogfight. This fight probably has one of my favorite mechanics in this game. Probably my favorite mechanic in this game. That being kind of the motion-controlled plane at the bottom. Tom from Tom and Jerry comes back as an attack. Little dogs are so unbelievably cute. And this has a secret final phase? Like, how hard do they have to go on this boss? Oh, also, I can't even, like, how is the screen gonna, like, turn 90 degrees in the final phase? Like, that's just insane. But that's also not the real reason why I have the Howlin' Asons up here at number 1. The real reason is because that dog is hot.